Showdown over President Trump's move to deploy the National Guard to more American cities. Hundreds of Texas National Guards have been heading to Chicago. Tonight, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker calling the potential deployment Trump's invasion. And the Trump-appointed judge who says the Trump administration's explanation for sending the Guard into Portland is simply, quote, untethered to the facts. Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, on President Trump's orders, a plane carrying 200 National Guard soldiers now heading from Texas to Chicago against the wishes of the city's mayor and the governor of Illinois.
Let me be clear. Donald Trump is using our service members as political props and as pawns in his illegal effort to militarize our nation's cities.
The president calls it a necessary part of his crime crackdown. But Governor J.B. Pritzker, who was fighting back in court, calls it an unconstitutional invasion of the state of Illinois.
Trump and the thuggery that his agents have brought has actively made us less safe.
The president tonight says that's just not true.
It's like a war zone. And then I listen to the governor and the mayor get up and say how they have it under control. They don't.
Just last week at Quantico, in front of hundreds of military leaders, the president saying America's cities could be training grounds for troops. They've been patrolling Washington, D.C. for weeks, with President Trump now planning to put them to use in Chicago, Memphis, and Portland, Oregon, where 200 soldiers from California arrived last night.
I believe that the Portland people are scared. You look at what's happened with Portland over the years. It's a burning hellhole.
But over the weekend, a judge President Trump appointed himself says when it comes to Portland, the president's assessment is, quote, simply untethered to the facts, blocking the deployment of the Guard in the city. The president has focused on a group of protesters that have camped outside an ICE facility in Portland. But Judge Karen Emmergut says those protesters are not significantly violent or disruptive, adding, this is a nation of constitutional law, not martial law. Portland Police Chief Bob Day telling our Trevor Ault the protests are confined to a sliver of the city.
It is a city block in a beautiful city that's 145 square miles, so it is fairly contained, but there are some challenges mitigating it down there.
But it is basically contained in a single city block.
Yes, it's just one city block.
David, tonight, as these legal battles play out in both Portland and Chicago, President Trump says he's considering invoking the Insurrection Act, using emergency powers that would allow him to go around the courts to deploy the National Guard to both of those cities, David.
Rachel Scott live at the White House tonight. Rachel, thank you.